He's right. My name is Bill Fisher. Thank you guys for coming out. The reason I'm actually kicking off the show, I was supposed to go on about 12 fucking whatever, and the reason I'm actually kicking off the show is because I have to drive home tonight safely. That's why I'm only drinking one beer at a time. And I have to drive back to Carrollton, Missouri. Has anybody here heard of Carrollton, Missouri? Woo! Have you really heard of that?
Heard of it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not as cool as you've heard. No matter how bad you've heard, it's worse. I live in Carrollton, and the funny thing about Carrollton is, it's that town. It really is that bad. I know a guy there that recently left the Amish. He was Amish, and he got on Romspringer. I don't know if you guys know what Romspringer is, but Romspringer is like Amish spring break. It's where you just get fucking balls crazy and like turn on electricity and get in cars and bang chicks that you're not related to that aren't hairy. It's fucking awesome. And so he does it, and he makes a bunch of money working on an oil rig, and he's like, fuck that. None of these girls are the same color as me. This is awesome. Anyway, so he decides he's gonna leave, and I'm sitting there eating dinner with him. His name, I can't make this shit up, is Amos. Amos the Amish was sitting there eating dinner with us and a bunch of friends, and one of the people actually says, one of the girls there, looks at him and says, when you left the Amish community, did you only speak Jewish, or did you know American talk too? So that's where I'm from. That's how people think where I'm from. They're not racist there anymore. They've moved past that dirty little century of thought process. But they still say things that are holdovers, I guess, from the racist time. Like, people there still say things like colored. Now, I didn't grow up there. I grew up around St. Louis, so when I moved there, I was shocked that people still said colored. I was actually confused. The first time somebody said a colored person was going to show up, I thought the Incredible Hulk was going to be there. That was just my thought process, and I'm a dork, so I got really excited. But the funny thing is about the Incredible Hulk, there's a reason he's so damn angry. He's not a superhero, okay? He's a frat boy. He gets pissy and goes down and tears up Manhattan. But if you think about it, the reason he gets angry, if you were a man, or are a man, whatever, and you changed size, you literally transformed into being 3 times your normal size. You could throw a fucking city bus around, right? Your clothes tear off you, you're a ripped, giant human being. Well, all your clothes tear off you, except your crotch. That apparently stays the same size. I'd be pissed too. Fuck me. Give me a toddler penis, I'm fighting everybody. Just saying. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but I'm trying to curse less. It's not working. But cursing is a lot like masturbation, I find. It's awkward, like everybody does it, you just don't really want to do it in front of your parents. And you definitely don't want to do it on stage, in a half-empty bar, while being taped by a guy in a bone mask. You don't want to do that. The funny thing about cursing is actually a lot of people actually do it wrong, which cursing and masturbation also have that in common. They usually do it wrong because that's just how their grandpa taught them. Too soon? Somebody got touched recently, apparently. That's cool. I'm not mad at you. Man, this is a long time away. Has anybody watch the Oscars? No, me either, fuck them. But somebody told me that the new Lincoln movie did really well, won some awards or something. And the funny thing is, it actually did really well in theaters too. Has anybody seen the new Lincoln movie? No. Okay, let me explain. First of all, let me be specific. Not the Lincoln fighting vampires movie. Okay? Whose fucking ADD wore out in that meeting? They're like, I love Lincoln, he's, oh man, I really respect him, everything he's always done, and he fights vampires. And he fucking Jackie Chan's people off the wall. It's stupid. I'm talking about the realistic one by Steven Spielberg. Has anybody ever seen that one? That Lincoln movie? Yeah, well, okay. Well, it did really well in theaters, which is ironic. Because Lincoln not always that well in theaters, historically speaking. He took one shot at it. Didn't really work out that well. Thank you guys. Oh, fuck me, they're attacking. Look, you're scaring the animals out of here. It's okay. Don't ever make that sound again unless you really want to take my pants off. I mean, I want me to take whatever.
I ain't wearing no pants, honey.
Well, then I should join the club. God, I wish this was closer. Did anybody watch Power Rangers growing up? Yeah, cool. I loved Power Rangers growing up. Mainly because my name's Bill and my favorite color is blue, and I love Triceratops. Fuck me. Hey, that kid's me. Why do you always have to wear coveralls though? Like, you live in the city, dude. Like Japan, apparently. But no, that's a fucked up show. That's a racist ass show. You ever think about it? What color was the Black Power Ranger? Yeah, and you don't know if I mean the black guy was black colored, or if his black color was the black, you don't know. What color was the Asian one? Yeah, somebody put a lot of thought process into that one. Fuck me. Thanks for thinking it through, you dicks. Yeah. So yeah, we taught racism at an early age, and I don't believe in racism. All right, racism is it's too lazy. Like, I have no problem with hate. I just like come up with a good reason. You gotta hate somebody for just so, you know, like a choice they made. You can't hate somebody just because of how they're born. It's pointless. I do believe in stereotypes though, to a certain extent. Let me explain why. There's one specific reason why you always have to believe in stereotypes, and that's when you're getting your haircut. It's true. The best haircut I've ever gotten in my life was from a gay black man. The worst haircut I ever got in my life was from an angry, drunk Asian woman. In Nashville, fucking Tennessee. This is fact, people. I'm not making this up. I've never been more scared for my ears' safety in my life. Ever. You know, when you hear you, I saw you, I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, but I just want it done. It's usually how I interact with Asian people anyway. I am curious, you know, okay, Chinese food, right? You eat it every 30 minutes and then you're hungry again, right? Like, you're hungry 30 minutes later. Okay, and Chinese people, by definition, only eat Chinese food. So why aren't Chinese people like 400 pounds? If that's the only option, it's just me. I don't know. I think of this shit. So, I recently got out of a relationship, but I was in a relationship for a very long time. And it was a new thing for me. She had a daughter, and we were in a 4-year relationship. So I knew this kid from a year to over 5 years, okay? And I watched this beautiful little girl grow up, and I'm still close with her, and I'm still close with them, actually. And it's funny, last year before Thanksgiving, we were cleaning up the house, and my girlfriend at the time says, hey, can you run over there real quick, Bill, and pick up those DVDs and throw them away? There's a couple DVDs out of the case laying on the ground. So I go run over and I grab them. And this is when my two worlds clashed, when they crushed together. Because the two DVDs, the first one was Dora's Big Christmas Adventure. The second one was Brittany Rear's Anal Adventure. I'm like, thanks honey, thanks for having me grab it as opposed to the 5-year-old. Then we'd all have to go to therapy. But now it's just me. Which is funny because, you know, they do have a lot in common. One is about a young girl, you know, finding her way in the world with her toys in her backpack and figuring things out. The other one's a cartoon, which is cool. Anybody get that one? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've given up on porn. I'm done with porn. Now, I'm not judging you if you watch or perform it, whatever. I just gave up on it because I got to the point where I realized how big of a loser I was. I was spending money to watch 2 people or more that are way more attractive to me have something that I'm not having. That guy has a huge dick, she has huge tits, and I'm sitting here normal going, I'm not getting any of this. You know what porn is the equivalent of? It's the equivalent of me and 10 of my buddies going out, eating all-you-can-eat wings, then leaving it going Golden Corral, having somebody film all of this shit, and then we mail it to fucking Ethiopia. And they open it up and watch it, and they go, whoa, I don't really have anything to eat, But I'm watching this guy eat the shit out of some food, and I feel better. Sure, it's not the same thing. I'm gonna go eat some grass and gravel. It's not the same, it's just serving a need, but this guy's having a great time. And then I charge him for it. That's the best part. The fuck do Ethiopians pay with? Regret? I don't know what they spend. I don't know what is Ethiopian money? I don't know, what do they have there? Different sized rocks. So the other day I slept with a girl, believe it or not. A girl, female, human. And she had a C-section scar. She was really nervous about it, kept covering it up, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you covering up your C-section scar? And she's like, oh, I'm really embarrassed, you know? And doesn't it bother you? I'm like, no, why would it bother me? And she's like, I just don't like how it looks. And I'm like, honey, listen, it's not a C-section scar. That is a tight vagina badge. That's what that is. Wear that shit with pride. Wear it with pride. Yeah, the same girl actually looked at me, and I said something stupid to her, and she looked at me and she goes, keep talking like that, I'm gonna put something in your mouth, mister. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, that's a threadalingus. She looked at me and said, threadalingus. Ladies, use that. By the way, roofies aren't necessary, ladies. I'm pretty much a whore. Saying. Well, I don't charge anybody, so I'm just a slut. This one should go over well. The other day I was in HR, and excuse me if I don't use proper terms here. I just speak how I speak, and if I offend anybody, it happens. So I'm in HR, and they're like, Bill, we think you're funny, but some of your jokes are a little rough. And I said, well, okay, I understand that. And I said, but it's all about perspective. And she's like, I don't believe you. Give me an example. And I said, okay. If someone walked up to you and said, excuse me, your hair smells really nice, is that sexual harassment? And she says, well, no, of course not. And I said, well, what if it's a midget? I'm sorry, don't be short with me. Thank you. Bless you. Thank you for being a good sport. I've used a wig like that, so we have stuff in common. Woo woo. Can I borrow that skirt later? You have no idea. I like sleeping with midgets because personally it makes me feel better about what's going on down here. I feel like I'm achieving something. I'm like, yes, I mean, there was some pressure. Usually I just end up with really large women that are really depressed. Like, Jesus, I'm Irish. Fuck off. Why do you think I drank half a bottle of whiskey before this? It wasn't for you. Anyway, alright guys. You guys have been great. Thank you very much for laughing. Thanks for coming out. Stick around, have a drink, enjoy the show. Thanks, you guys.